All right, what's going on, guys? I'm back. It's been a little bit since I've done this coaching video stuff, but today we're doing something different. Today it is a live VOD review from someone I've been actually doing some private lessons with for a while. I'm going to introduce you to him right now. His name is Local Man, but if you want to introduce yourself, what team you're on, your SR, and what you think your problems are, so that we can just get right into this and make it a shorter video.
I'm Lopperman. I play for True Blue in False Appearance Esports, and this is a 4K scrim. My issues, I would say, are positioning, cooldowns, and aim, but that's just because I can't aim.
All right. What specifically with cooldowns do you think that your struggle is?
I just yeet them without making sure that they can be, like my nades. I think my nades are fine, mostly, but my sleeps I just yeet them.
Okay.
On cooldown.
Yeah, I've had that problem. I still do have that problem, but there's ways to go about that, and just thinking about how you really want to use your cooldowns. It's advanced stuff. A lot of it is just learning the character specifically if you want to get out of that 4K scrim level, but that is what I'm here to help you guys with. Also, throughout the video, guys, I am using a new software called, I think it's Epic Ink. So just be patient with me as I try to learn this new thing. But we should be able to just get right into it. And first of all, before I really start, the Rhine Diva is just weird with the double sniper. I don't know. I just think Winston's better, personally. But I think the Rhine Diva, you know what? That's fine. You can run that too. I just haven't seen that. And seeing with what they have, you don't know off the start. But a lot of what is going to be killing you is there's going to be a Mercy on the Ashe most of the time, and then there's going to be a Tracer in your backline. So you're pretty much toast. You probably want to be playing close to around your Diva and just try to stay alive as long as possible for your snipers to make picks. But all right, let's get into this. This is definitely going to be a different style of Ana play because it's double sniper. But all right, let's go. Okay, we're out of spawn. Okay, going left. Thinking there's probably a Sombra. I guess that's why
they ran a lot of Sombra.
Yeah, okay. It's not awful. You're chilling. It's not the best specific. Okay. So, just right off the bat, all right. Okay. So, do you know, like, this is something really new that I've learned. So, like, don't feel bad about this at all. Do you watch any football? Do you understand football?
I know how it works, but no, I don't watch it.
Do you know what a line of scrimmage is?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to think that you are the quarterback right there, okay? And that your tank line is your line of scrimmage, okay? As a quarterback, do you want to be right up, say, I think the line of scrimmage, the tanks are like here, so like this is the line of scrimmage right here. Actually, it's more so that the line of scrimmage is right there. No, okay. How do I switch colors? This, I would say, is your line of scrimmage that they are going to be engaging to, and then here's where your tanks are now. So, the reason I'm saying this, I know in past VOD reviews, I'm pretty sure I said, like, if they're playing a dive, like, you want to stay close to your tank, so that if they dive you, like, your tanks can help you, right? But here's the thing, right? In a neutral fight, you don't want to be too close to your Rhine, because then this tank right here can cleave you and Ryan at the same time. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you want to be close enough to your Ryan here that you're not going to just get wrecked, or like you want to be close enough to to your tank line so that this tracer isn't just going to come back and sack you from behind, like here. Like, you shouldn't be here, right? But you shouldn't be as close to your Ryan as you are. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now there's a lot, like, that's like the very basic stuff, so that you're not getting cleaved from this guy. Because here's the thing, right? A Ryan via Winston, like, you eventually are going to have this corner right here, all right? You're eventually going to have this corner. Because your Ryan should be... Okay, can I clear this, actually? Like, you eventually can move here. Because your Ryan is going to be able to pressure out the Winston. Because the Winston's going to be here, but he's going to take hammer swings. And eventually, like, he's just going to have to get out. So what you want to do is stay here, let your Rhine clear this line of scrimmage, and then, since this isn't a true line of scrimmage, this will be the first one, but then like the next one moves. It's constantly moving based off of where your front line is, where their front line is. So eventually, it's most likely gonna end up being like here.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing with positioning is that very basic positioning ideas are gonna get like they can carry you a really long way. But when you get to a really like professional level, you have to understand that everything is constantly changing.
Right.
So like your positioning, while I've said before that like okay, like you want to be close enough to your tank so that you're not just gonna get dove for free, or like if they're running a brawl, you don't want to stand right next to your Rhine because then they'll cleave you really easy. Now you have to understand what are they trying to accomplish with their comp. Like here, they're trying to make space for their Ashe and their Mercy to pop the fuck off, and their Tracer is just like nagging in the back line, and it really pins you in a weird spot, right? And that's why it makes it difficult, because you have to be able to adapt. But the way that I think of positioning now, and I still don't really know exactly if I'm correct, but being adaptive with your positioning and trying to understand what they're doing and like not let them do that. Because just right here, they're just trying to poke you out. Because, yeah, I've already said that. I won't ramble on anymore, but I'm sure this will come up again. But I'm sure you understand to an extent of what I was trying to talk about. But we're just going to keep going for the sake of time. If you have questions, do just blare it out. I don't mind it. Like, okay, like right here, you should be getting punished for that. But okay, now you're fine because you're kind of in the back. But right there, like he should have been able to push forward and get a little more value out of that. That's a fine sleep. You're looking at it a little bit too long. You're pushing really close. You put like, I mean, I guess they had an Ashe. Like, did you know where the Ashe was? I mean, the Ashe was, yeah, that's the thing. The Ashe was right here, and especially on this kind of map, like you don't want to peek angles
my
like
thing
this.
I slept the monkey. Ryan, you can charge him. And I said that, and he went for it. And that was the thing I was focusing on. I forgot literally everything else.
Okay.
I just zoned into the monkey.
Understand that if you sleep the monkey here, you never want to just look at a sleep. Right. You always want to like make sure that you're not exposing yourself, because honestly, that is when good players, if they realize like that is a mistake that they will be looking for. Like, oh, he just hit a sleep on my Winston. I'm chilling right here. Like this is where you are. And presumably this is where the Ashe should be, or the Ashe should be like over here. Mm-hmm. You moving while your Ryan's pinning with no shield, like you are such an easy headshot. Like look where you are right now. You are so free. So it's not necessarily like, oh, like I should have known where I was and there was like a correct place to be. But like if you think about it, it's better. Like because you can still heal your Ryan and support your Ryan shooting that Winston if you're like behind cart like this. Mm-hmm. But you're out in the open here, which is like probably the worst place you could be. So understanding and avoiding those areas are really going to help you. But and just not jumping too. But we'll get to that at the end. Because jumping against snipers is bad. You get away with it because your Hanzo popped and just killed the Ashe before she could kill you, which is good. So. All right. Do you think this is the absolute best spot you could be?
I should be left.
Left where? Like left in here? Left up here?
On the staircase.
Okay. Why do you think that?
I take it back because there's that line of sight directly in front of you. Where
No. Why? No. Why do you
should
think
be
that,
on the. My first thought was there's a lot of cover.
This is a completely fine spot to be, I'd say.
Right.
The problem is, what if Ashe is here?
Yeah,
that's still fine though. That's still fine though. That's still fine though. Where would you go if the Ashe was there? If you're up here?
I would either walk left or walk right. Walk
left
right into the building.
Right here?
Into the building? Through the building?
Walk through here.
Yes.
I would disagree with this.
Okay.
Because if you understand the line of scrimmage idea, there's a possibility that the tanks are here and your tanks are here, and then you're here. Then you're free.
Gotcha.
So, understanding that line of scrimmage idea, I'd stay here. Because look where you are here, and look where the payload is. If the Ashe does peek you there. Now, in theory, if they do recontest, which they shouldn't, because they just lost at a very bad spot, the cart would be here. But then you could go, you could still be down here and just jiggle peek. And when you see her reload, since that's like a big part of her just her being downtime, you can rotate here. I mean, another place you could go up here. But the problem is if they're bottom left, it's a lot harder to like find places to be. Like, you'd have to drop. You could drop back here then and play here. But understand there's a lot of different places and there's no right answer. Like if you think they're gonna come out left, and you're here and they don't know. Actually, no. If you think they're coming out left, you should probably be up. It really depends on how you want to play it. But know that this place is fine. You just never want to like. In theory, this could work if you want to go for a flank ante, but like that's really aggressive and you have to communicate that with your team. But this is also a safe spot as well.
Gotcha.
Like flank nades are fine if your team's just like you call it and you're like absolutely know it's gonna pop off, which it could if they go left, but it's also very risky. My bad. Okay, I saw this while you were off, while I was not watching on my own, and there will be something coming up soon. All right, you're playing payload. It's fine. Your tanks aren't taking high ground. That's the problem here. Either your tanks should be on point, which they are, or you should be on high ground. I won't talk about that, because it's like whatever. So your tanks are playing point, and so is your Mercy. Like, you should be calling that. First of all, like from a macro perspective, like high ground in this map is key. Second point, like if you establish dominance of the high ground, like you will win this point more than likely. But if your tanks really want to play point and force a brawl on point, right here is perfectly fine for you. Okay. Up here. Because what I know you're going to do, you're going to do the same thing with the line of scrimmage again. You're going to play really close here with the Rhine. You're probably going to start getting tased by this Winston. And also, since this Tracer's coming over here, I know she's going to force you to panic and use cooldowns. Okay. Since you're just not in a good position. Like, that's what I'm predicting. Because this is how far I got up to. But let's see how it plays out. Let's see. Alright, let's see. You see Tracer? Yeah.
I went
use your nade. Okay. Pulse. Like, this isn't necessarily awful. It's just like your team doesn't need to do this. It's a macro understanding or misunderstanding, I feel, because like your comp is double sniper. You don't really need to brawl into them. If you tell your tanks like, hey, stay cart, and so I can play high ground, like you force them to come onto you. You get multiple angles, you win. But because right here, like I just don't like this spot. It's not awful, but I just don't like it. Because with the flank nade idea, if they're like, okay, never mind, like, we're gonna hard engage because you know they have trans, then look what this flank nade does. Holy shit, it's free. It's so free. And then like you just win. Like they're all antied. Sure, like they could use cooldowns and jump you, but you can, like, your team should be engaged enough that doesn't happen. But understand that high ground is like king. Like you wanna play right here and right here and right here and like here, because that's another thing you could do. Like, while the payload's moving here, you could have been getting up on high ground right here even, which is even safer. It's not as, you're not going to get that nade as easy because the diva's looking at you, but you have so many more ways to play if you go on the high ground. Like, you see what I'm talking about? You can stay there, there, there. While if you're playing low ground, you can't really go here because that's where like the Tracer wants to go to get behind you really easy. You kind of have to play here. So I just think giving yourself more options is better. Why is this being difficult? Why is it being difficult?
Because it's Overwatch.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, you're not wrong. You still got the nade off. That shouldn't have happened, though. You nano, and then, yeah, see, the fight inevitably just comes back here anyways, because we weren't staying point. Okay, you should be calling this. I'm sure you are. Yeah. Diva sleep. Don't wake. Everyone. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. So, I know you probably didn't notice because it was chaotic, but they switched Widow. Even if they have an Ashe, like, you don't need a scope from this far away. You can unscope. Right. And standing still scoping, really bad no matter what. Like, it's fine if you're not sitting, like, right here. Okay? Like, if you're standing maybe around this corner, like, you're a lot safer and you can see what's going on, but you're standing, like, here. Your LOS is really strict. So where'd that Widow even shoot you from? That Widow shot you... Where? Oh, she just hook shot you. That's how free it was. She was up here and just bang. See, but if you're right here, like, she can't shoot you. So it's fine to scope, but just be a little bit more aware and always hitting tab to make sure that switches aren't happening. That's just a general thing. Even people in tier 3 have mistakes with that, even tier 2 as well. Not as much, but I'm saying like trials tier 2 probably. Okay, that's fine. I just think you tunnel vision to sleep, so you can look for other things to do while you're counting down. It's multitasking, but it comes with practice.
I also had to call it out like 50 times for them to hear. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a team thing. Just as long as you're doing it, like, just keep the good habits up. Right here, I'm just thinking like, you should, your tanks should be payload. Your tanks can stuff. Your tanks can stuff. Just know that, like, yeah. Okay, that's good. Yep. All right, that's good. Good idea. All right. Don't tunnel vision too hard. It's fine. You hear the tracer. You should probably, yeah, too much scoping there. And I just don't think you. Well, hold on. Let's roll that back, because like.
Should I have been skipping them?
I need to look at it again. So right here, you heard the tracer like 3 seconds ago, and you didn't like do a quick flick to see where she was. That's really important. But I won't like narc you on that. So she just died. Like, you don't know where this tracer is. Oh, see, I didn't know that, and that's a problem. Like, you need to flick around and see that, cause like, Lopal, man, if I just watched this, and this tracer was right behind you the whole, like, that's really bad. You're scoping in. That's so free to one clip. This dude's just freaking stupid. This dude's just absolutely stupid for not killing you there. You're like, if you hear a tracer, especially from here, because D.Va's really big, like, you can unscope. I fully believe in your capabilities to unscope there. I mean, sure, she's really low, so you want to keep her up, but like, you don't have to. Quick recon flicks. I don't know if you've been watching my streams. Well, you have in the past. You know that I have a very flicky. You know, I mean, presumably, I think that you probably understand I have a very like flicky style. Where like, if I shoot once and I'll like look around 180 if I hear a tracer behind to like understand where I'm going for, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you've seen me do that. I feel like it's a very small thing that not a whole lot of people.
It's something I do sometimes, but it's not a habit.
I think you should make it a habit.
Gotcha.
Like, here I understand where you're coming from. Like, you want to hard scope the D.Va and like make sure that she doesn't die to the spam from the Winston, because that's really important. And like, your D.Va is playing cart and like making that a pressure, so that is important with the fight win condition. I just think that you have to know that there's a tracer in your backline that's going to, because like, yeah, you keeping her up's important.
I thought she was underneath us. I didn't know she was right there.
It did sound like she was, but if you're not certain, you need to you need to look. Now I've made those mistakes too, so don't feel like, oh, I'm shit, oh, blah blah blah, because you have improved a lot. But you got to know where that tracer is, because like she's not. And then yeah, here too. You're scoping. It's fine. Okay. Scope. You're really exposed right now, and there's a widow, so you have to just know where she is. Because do you know where she is? Okay, you do now. You're running. Yeah, the fight's lost. You're getting out. That's okay. That's good. Okay.
I need healing. I'm here. Thank you.
Okay. Giving your Mercy 17, or what is it, 19 hit points of heal. Support diff. Alright, like, my thing is like here, like, the way that you're staging the start of your fight is just really weird. Like, you're not playing around any cover, and you know they have a widow. Like, I didn't narc on you for this stuff before because, like, you just needed to learn, like, the characters, if that makes sense. But now, like, I don't want you to go on autopilot, and I want you to think. Now, you could say, oh, I'm not on autopilot, dude. I go on autopilot, dude. I want you to think about what's going on, alright? Open, usually bad. You don't need to stand in the open ever, okay? You probably know that. You probably just were on autopilot and didn't think about that. But think about what they have. Like, what's going to kill you on their team? Their Widow and their Tracer. The Winston and D.Va really shouldn't be able to just dive on you and kill you because they don't have, like, a good enough dive comp to do that. They don't have speed either to, like, get in and get out. So that's not likely. So knowing that, I want you to think, where are, like, popular Widow angles? up here, this corner right here. If she wants to be aggressive and PQ here, which is not very likely, but understand that that's a possibility. Widows like to play back here. Widows like to play right here. Widows also sometimes like to come around and flank and be over here. So, like, from a Widow's perspective, is this a good spot for you? Well, is this, for an honest perspective against a Widow, is this a good spot to stand? No. You know that. So think about it. As an honest perspective, is this a good spot to stand or stage the start of your fight? Like right here, or
Much
like around here. Much better. Now, I don't want you to stage the start of your fight before your tanks come right here, because remember that line of scrimmage idea. Their tanks are here. I understand it's the start of the fight, and it's very unlikely that you're going to die, but in a scrim that I had against Revival, I had that same notion where it's like, oh, the fight hasn't started yet, and I'm right here. Like, there's no way they engage, right? The thing that really like specifies like tiers is really just how aggressive they take their approaches. Because almost every time I did that, I got punished. Like, I was even like right here, and they would just lose your speed on me, and they all jump out, and the fight's over.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like, so it's a mix of two. Like, stage yourself to where you want to go with the fight, which is high ground, and maybe you didn't understand that before, but high ground's like in this situation is really good. But also stage yourself where you're not in front of your O line, if that makes sense, or D line,
Yeah.
however you want to think about it. But you're on offense, so it's more of O line. I'm not like I understand football. I watch Penn State football, and also you know that she has sights, so like right there. Like, peeking that angle is just, like, really dangerous. Like, if she has sights, I would never get aggressive and shoot that. Especially when you have full ult. You don't really need to be getting ult charge. You just need to be living. Jumping bad. Okay. Alright. Good sleep. You're jumping. Stop doing that. Okay. You're just living. It's just really weird, and like I feel like it's more of a team thing. You don't really know where you're safe and where you're not, and what's really going on. Okay, this is fine. You're a little too close to your Rhine. I understand you're looking for a nade there. A little too close to your Rhine. Remember the line of scrimmage idea. Like right here, you're in the middle of the fight, and you're just you're just getting pincered down. All right, I have a question about your nano usage. Against a good team, who should you be nanoing on your team? Against their comp and your team, who really should you be nanoing? Well, okay.
The diva?
Let's think about it like here. The problem with nanoing your Rhine in this situation right here is that like what their team should have done when you nanoed Rhine is like literally they just have to jump the fuck out. Like your Rhine shouldn't the Rhine should not have gotten value. Now they don't understand that, and that disengaging is good. But that's what they should have done. A far better target to nano here, in my opinion, is D.Va mid fight, and to just counter this Zen's angle, and just like you can like D.Va with like the LOS of you and like the Widow can just absolutely fuck a Mercy or a Zen here.
Gotcha.
Personally, now like if your Rhine called like, oh, call nano because like the Winston's stuck here for whatever reason, like sure, that's fine. Even then, like even if like the plan is to hard brawl, I'd still go D.Va because D.Va can at least keep up with the Winston and like keep dealing the damage. But right. Rhine should never have gotten that value. Shouldn't have. Now he did because they didn't jump out because they thought they could tank it for whatever reason with the Mercy Zen comp, but they couldn't. Anyways, I'm gonna keep moving on. Just understand, like, nano usage isn't always textbook either. It's also oh shit. Wait, you got rezzed. No? Yes. Okay. You win this fight easy. Yeah, you have 3 picks. And when I'm harping on you like this, I don't want you to think that I'm shitting on you. Like this isn't bad. This is definite improvement. Your aim's definitely a lot better too. It's very solid. Line of scrimmage. It's fine now. Just like understand against good teams, like sometimes that'll bite you in the ass. I just want you to think about that.
Yeah, it's happened before. It's just not.
Yeah. Good sleep. Should your widow did not just. Okay. Oh, your widow. Oh man, I've seen it so many times. It just triggers me whenever I see it. All right, this is fine. This is good. You're using the cart for cover. This is clean. This is good. Okay. This is fine. Now that the cart's getting closer to your tanks, you can play back a little bit. You can even play inside that building on the bottom. Or around this corner. This is fine. That's good. Okay. You're pushing up. You're still in a good spot in terms of line of scrimmage. I'd still give that flick to see if anything's in your backline, but it's not because it's double snipe. Okay, this is fine because this. Okay, do you understand why this is fine though? Like this is honestly really solid. This is really fucking solid because you're playing with the positioning that your tanks are giving you. Like right here, when your tanks were here, you were playing right here. Your tanks cleared that Ryan, they moved up to here, you moved up to here. Like that is really clean, and that's what I'm talking about. Like playing with the adapting line of scrimmage. That was really clean. Now it's a lot harder to give to you when like people actually start to fight back and people start playing a little more correctly because their Ryan is just giving you this win. But this was like really clean and really like that was good. So good job on that. That was like that's what you want to be looking for. Because you should win this fight now. It should be free. Oh wait, you died. Your diva didn't fucking DM that. Okay, interesting. You're dead. Wait.
Yeah, I died. She didn't have res.
Wow, you guys lost that because the Ashe got rezzed and no one looked at it. Interesting. That's not really on you. I'm sure you could have like moved and ran, but I'm not gonna hold you to that because it shouldn't have happened.
Were those sleeps and nade okay?
It's okay because it's the start of the fight. I'm not really focusing on that right now. I'm focusing more on positioning, if that's okay. Because with this comp, it's really hard for me because the comp's changing so much to the point where like you got to adapt to the way you're using your sleep to really get the maximum value out of it. But that's not what I've been working on recently. Like I wanna give you and the people that are gonna watch this, I want to give them the tips that I'm like certain about and the things that I'm learning currently, rather than stuff that I need to learn after positioning.
Gotcha.
Because poor positioning is going to influence the way that you use your cooldowns a lot. So I think fixing positioning to an extent first is what you need to do to get better cooldown usage, if that makes sense.
Indeed.
Because like if you're right up next to your Ryan when their Winston's just pummeling away at you, you have to use nade on yourself, and like that was a positioning issue rather than. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's a fine sleep.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah. Fucked. Okay. Mind snipers.
I'm back.
Mind the snipers there. Mind cover. You know that. It was a mistake. I'm sure you understand that.
Oh yeah, I did die there. I remember that.
Okay. That against a good player, like they're never gonna be there, unless I don't know. That was just a little weird. Like, cause now you could have had your sleep. You don't need to go for something that risky. That's a good fucking shatter. Very good. Nano that. Yep. Okay. See, the reason why I say nano that there is because like that's your tank. And if he dies, you lose.
Yeah.
And they're shattered. Like at that point, like
and they have to contest the point.
Yeah. That's fine. In that case, because your win condition is keeping your Rhine up. Like you need to keep your Rhine up against a double sniper comp there. Shit, I fucked up. If your Rhine was fine, it wasn't gonna die. Nano Diva, I think, for more offensive stuff. Yeah, that was tough. I think you should still just have the Winston instead. Okay, yeah, like that. That just shouldn't happen. Like, your Diva just shouldn't let your Ashe, the Ashe, just be like, I'm just gonna tiptoe in the back line, bang. Like that just shouldn't happen. I mean, you could counter that by like being here, but being here is like a little bit more advantageous. But like, the Ashe shouldn't be able to just fucking walk up like that. It's just, I don't know. Okay. Alright, do you respond at all, or is this it? Like a Lucio? I want to see the Lucio roll out.
I think we get this. Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
I did go Lucio. No, my Lucio's
Victory.
bronze.
Yeah, my
Lucio's
Lucio's
actually
ass
bronze.
too. It's not quite bronze, but I'd say it's probably low GM. So where are you setting
Mine,
stuff up?
mine might be diamond, maybe, if I'm lucky.
Where we at? Okay. So, I want to introduce you to an idea. Now, this doesn't necessarily apply to this map because they are running double snipe, okay? So it's a little risky. Let's say, how am I going to go about this? In a fight where rotation is happening in this comp, most of the damage that's going to happen is like either one shot to your squishies or like tank damage that can be healed pretty easily. Does that make sense? Like, not a whole lot of like death and like death ball one-on-one is going to really be happening with this comp, or should be happening with this comp rather, because there's a huge like straightaway that they have to get past first. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say though that you're not playing right here because this is a really bad spot in my opinion to start. You should be starting on high ground for a reason I will be coming to. And so should your Widow. Like, I guess not your Widow, your Mercy. Like, I guess she was damage boosting fire strike for alt charge probably, but she should be up here too. Honestly, your whole team should be up here. But or just holding spawn with a Ryan Diva. But if let's just say that the Ryan was being dumb and didn't shield and got headshot by a Widow for like 400 damage because it's damage boosted, I would say you do not heal the Ryan. Excuse me, you do not heal the Ryan. Rather, you let your Mercy heal pick damage, and you could be at any of these windows. I don't know if you're confident with your quick scoping, but say that the Widow's down there by that blue truck. You jiggle peek, quick scope, hit. Quick scope, hit. You want to know why I'm saying that is better?
More pressure on their team.
Think about how it benefits you and not necessarily how it hinders their team.
Do you get more all charge for damage?
Yes.
I didn't know.
You're
that.
building. Okay, well, not necessarily. Like, let's say that like it was like a Soldier 76 or a Tracer that's like doing 50 damage to the Ryan, so it's not as much of an extreme case.
It's more alt charge share between the
it's
team.
it's more alt charge, and if you build your nano before they build their nano, you can engage really quick, and it can swing a fight in an early neutral fight really easily. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because Mercy is gonna like, what else is Mercy gonna do to get alt charge? Is she gonna pull out her Glock 9 and fucking try to kill their Widow across the map? No, that's not logical because she's not gonna hit that consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you can get more value out of like scoping out the team early fights to get more alt charge. Like, that should just be a second nature thing. Now you're gonna have to test your limits with that. Now, what you said about like forcing out their Widow and stuff, like, that is still true. That still holds true. But let's say you're playing like Ana against a Moira comp, and at the start of the fight, Moira is like here for whatever reason, and you pop her twice, and she's wide in the open. You force out her fade, and let's say you're playing a dive comp, and your team knows that, they can just dive immediately. You literally just won your team the fight just by hitting 2 shots in a Moira, and you just got ult charge.
Gotcha.
So like, looking for those aggressive plays is really important the higher you go, because that little bit of alt charge like wins you games. Like, in the current meta right now with the Moira and the Reaper Sombra, whoever gets Cole first fight usually wins.
Uh-huh.
So like, building alt charge as a flex support is like a huge thing, and I just learned this as well. So I don't want you to think that you're stupid and you're not doing this right.
Gotcha.
Like, right here is something you
hold
should...
I mean, the high ground gives more advantage in silence and stuff, but why hold the high ground when you can be easier picked off than hold the low ground behind a shield?
So here's what I'm saying. You can start the game off on this high ground because it's a lot easier to see where they are, and you can get that little bit of pick damage early.
Gotcha.
Now, when the fight starts breaking out, and it's like right here, do not stay high ground. Do not stay high ground. Drop to like right here. Or, if there's a sniper there, you tell your team, you back to here. When your Ryan's shielding this, you can rotate to here. Or, you can still just play right here. You could play here too, if your Ryan like really wants to engage, but there's a sniper that's holding you there, because then like you can deny the LOS of the sniper and play right here. and still heal your Rhine. Because you can nade through there and you can keep him up.
Gotcha.
I'm saying start here because you can get some pick damage for some extra ult charge, but as soon as the fight breaks out or you get 1 or 2 shots and you start getting pressured out, nade yourself down here, you go. I usually play actually right here. Or like, I mean, right there, right here, right over here is a little risky because if they.
I like playing around the blue thingy. Green
this is okay. I'd say you can, because the thing is right here, if they have a sniper, you got to make sure you're unscoped and like making sure that no sniper or like flankers peeking you there.
Right.
And if they are peeking you there, like you can rotate around here and like peek the hard engage.
Me and our team coach were talking about it like right before we started the map. He was wanting me to play more to the staircase to the right. I said I wanted to play more around that box area because
He
it
wants you to
allows me
play
push.
here.
He wants the other staircase on the other side.
This this.
That one. He was saying you could start over there. I said I like to start back a little bit forwards of the area I'm standing in right now. Because my team likes to play aggressive and they like to push up.
The problem with staying here is there's a lot of problems with staying here actually. And I mean this in theory, like sure that's fine if your team like absolutely holds here, but they're running a double sniper comp. A very popular angle for Widow is this.
Right.
So like you're dead here. If your team wants to push and be aggressive or you want to get a nade through this thing, like you're gonna want to be close so that you can support that. Because if you play here, then like all you're trying to do is that you're playing Rhine Diva. You want to make sure that you're able to support the Rhine. But playing back here is not supporting your Rhine unless your Rhine's gonna be a pussy bitch and just shield here, which isn't good enough. It's just not good enough in my opinion. I just think that especially if your team's more aggressive, you want to play here. 100%. You want to be closer up so that you can, because then like that line of scrimmage idea, if the Rhine gets antied or something, like the line of scrimmage changes, your Rhine's up here, and then now you have this space for free because you're not getting cleaved. You know?
So you want me to hold more to the yellow car and not the blue box?
Okay, no, blue box is fine.
Gotcha.
But if there's a sniper or like a flanker there, you're gonna have to rotate here.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is fine. I'm just trying to think what's more advantageous for you. Because like
Gotcha.
yellow car is really aggressive, and if their tank line comes here, then you're kind of fucked. It's
Gotcha.
all dependent on where they are. Like, if no one's in here, like sure, I think yellow car's fine. If there's a sniper in here, yellow car's fine. If there's a widow or like a tracer or a doomfist in there, I think blue box is probably better. It's all about what they have, and it's really difficult for me to tell you like a definite because comps change, and you don't know what comp they're running when it's the first 10 seconds.
Right.
So that's another benefit here. You can scout a little bit more and understand
And then
what's going on.
then you would change your position according to what they're running.
Yes.
And get the field charge.
Positioning at higher levels is not set in stone. It is fluid. But what I'd say, look for a pick, or like a spawn nade here, a pick damage or 2. Rotate once you see a sniper. I usually play here or like back a little more if I see that my team wants to play a little less aggressive, or if I know that nothing's coming that way, because then like this angle is like a lot safer. Because if their widow wants to, like, I kind of subconsciously do this at this point. Like if their widow's trying to play here and look for a weird angle from here up there, I'll play. I guess I'll play here, but if I know that their widow is like playing less aggressive and playing with her team, I'm gonna play up here, or like I'm gonna play back there, because then she can't shoot me from back there, and then she's not gonna be at this angle, so she can't kill me from there. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because she can't kill me from here if she's there. If she can't, I kind of subconsciously do that, I guess, just off of me losing and dying a lot. Against Crazy Cat's widow, because that kid's widow is actually insane. He's a crack baby, I swear. But
as long as you're not talking about the Crazy Cat, my coach.
No, is that? Oh, that's no. My Crazy Cat is a really good hit scan player. Used to play for Hype Unit. I don't know where he is now. But you end up playing blue box, which is good. I'm fine with this. But yeah, see, I don't know if I like there. You can rotate up to. Like, if you want to play here, and their widow's being that less aggressive, like, I'm sorry, I'm kind of, like, analyzing this for myself. The thing is, if your Rhine pushes in, and it's very dependent. I'm sure that we'll have another VOD review in the future, and we can look over something like that again. But just know that it's fluid, because right here you're like playing back, and you can't support that, which you need to tell your team. But if you know your team's gonna do that, you gotta be ready. I think that's a little bit too aggressive, off of something that, like, right there you got like your team got lucky that you hit that anti-nade. Because they were pushing in off of like no advantage, which isn't the best, especially when you have that corner. But let's keep looking. I don't know where. Yeah, she's so aggressive. You died there now too.
Yeah.
You didn't need to nade that, especially if she hits a dynamite.
I
like,
realized that while I was sitting up, so I
yeah.
was like, if I didn't nade, that would be good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's bring this back a little bit. Did you get rezzed? No. Okay. That was just like. Why is she so aggressive? Like, she shouldn't be allowed to do that. You even just need to look at that more. Okay, Widow just called sights. Well, look at where you are. And look how your Ryan's playing. He gives a fuck all about shields, dude. Play right here if you're not doing any uptime. Or like right here, so it makes it a little bit difficult. Because their Widow has sights and you're like sitting in the open scope and like, hey, yeah, you're gonna get rolled if you do that. Just I know you know that. It's just like autopilot probably. Big shatter. Ooh, you meant to nano Ryan there 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is the right call. I would have nanoed him sooner, but you probably didn't have a clear shot. Yeah, always minding that Widow. You should be dead there 100%. Like I said, really good Widow.
I should be pushing that.
Like right here, there's just better cover. Like right there, playing around that is just better. How did you miss that? That was literally on his head. Interesting. Sleeping Bob, okay, it's good. Don't wake him up. Killing your Ryan. You need to call that you need to reload soon. You need to reload.
Yep. I call it out
Okay.
every time I reload. Thanks,
Yep.
team.
I don't think you need to do it every time, but like in very important times.
I don't during like
Let's get sleep.
non-existent fights, but
Okay. You could have played it better with positioning. I'm sure you see that. This video is definitely going a little long already, just from my explanation. But oh,
I just want to say.
unlucky.
Okay, it wasn't this time. Never mind. Never mind.
Unlucky. You shouldn't have been jumping. You should have been crouching. But unlucky. I'll just call it as an unlucky. Unlucky. Get out. You lose fight. Miss the sleep on Ryan. That's not good. If you sleep the Ryan there, maybe you win that, but I'm not going to judge your mechanics. The sleep was correct. You just had to hit it. I'm not going to coach your mechanics because they've improved. Ooh.
Widow's right side.
Like, just gotta, like, you gotta mind that, I guess. Because, like, while I say that this is really stupid, because it is, it's also not. Because, like, really good players will do that. So just knowing that there's a Widow, and, like, using cover as much as you can, like, in retrospect, like, this is better. Like, that's really nitpicky. Just if you know that their DPS are playing really fucking stupid, like, always make sure that you're prioritizing your life and not giving it away. That's another thing I could say. That's more of an adaptivity thing. Like, if their tendencies are really aggressive, play around that. Like, what? Like, it's in what world? In what world does an Ashe ever do that? And she's doing that consistently. It's just that you gotta adapt to that, and you'll counter him even more. She shouldn't be able to do that. Is the nano into Ryan okay into the comp you're playing against? Did you hear me?
There was Ryan versus Ryan,
So
and he asked for it.
yes, that's correct. I'm just making sure that you're understanding. Ryan v Ryan, that's a brawl. Ryan nanoing Ryan, that is fine. Any questions, by the way, just shoot them at me. You've been
Will do.
this isn't bad. Like this is a lot of improvement from last time. You guys are kind of letting them get the high ground because you want to play for space, I guess. I think giving them a little bit too much space. I think you should have held the door if you knew they were rotating there. Just me though. You didn't have to scope there, but it's not awful. Okay, you're trying to play out of their LOS, it seems. Okay, you're trying to toss asleep there, which is fine, I guess, because it's early fight. Getting out of LOS. Okay, this is fine. Where are you playing now? Jumping. Okay, this is bad. You're exposed. You're giving up your covered position when they have snipers. Good sleep. Yeah, but see what I'm talking about there?
Yep.
Could have played here. Could have played here. Yeah. See where your Ash is? Wait, that's not your Ash.
Their Ash, that's their Ash.
Okay, wait. First of all, look at this Ash's head. What the fuck?
That is amazing.
Just disgusting. Yeah, their Ash actually has the correct positioning for you, which makes no sense whatsoever. But yeah, you understand what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And your Mercy died too. You lose the fight. Wait, you guys didn't lose? Wait, what? Okay, I'm not even gonna question it. Fuck it, we're gonna keep going. What?
I was
not
trying
just
to dodge
fucking
the
do
widow.
that. Yo, if your Ryan ever does that again, just don't even try to help him. He should have died.
I've been punished for trying to help him out of that since then. And before
Yeah, he
that.
should die there every time, dude. How does he not like? That's just there.
Hello.
Yeah. That was just so stupid. Like, that was just so bad. I'm sure he knows it, but he just doesn't give a fuck. He should get away with that. Right here, your Ryan should definitely stuff them at that door. Like, I know this doesn't really mean much to you because you're the support player, but I just think a better position for your Ryan to be is just stuffing them right here and just not letting them have so much free space.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I guess I can see like where you're coming from, but like against a good team, what they'd probably try to do instead of just jumping cart, where like that's where you guys want them to go, is to cart. That's where you're setting yourself up. If they just rotate around here and force you off this high ground, and then you're down here on the cart, like you lose. So just not giving them the space to work with, I think, is just better. Now, if you do that, and their team is smart, and they set up their Widow like here, make sure that you're like in here, so that you can see your tanks, but you're not getting shot. I'm just giving you hypotheticals to be ready for.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. You just let your make sure you're looking at that Hanzo. He should have died. Okay, hold up. Let me
Get in there.
line of scrimmage idea. Okay. So the problem with this positioning is that it's very risky. But at the same time, the fight changed very quickly, so you couldn't exactly react. If that makes sense? Like, if your team was trying to give them that space, I guess you could have positioned yourself here. But then they can just run. See, like, you giving them that space just makes it very bad for you. But, I mean, you're playing, just understand that, like, this is a very risky position from where you are, so you need to stay quiet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, not damaging the Rhine and stuff is good. But you got dynamited, so... Yeah, okay, but then you nano and then he's fine. Actually, that's fine. I spoke too soon. Because, yeah. And then... Oh, you're scoping. Don't scope. I don't want to be one. Wait, did their Widow clutch up? No way, right? Their Widow just clutched up. Wow, good for their Widow. Good for him. His positioning's ass, but he just carried. Yeah, you guys don't recontest that and win.
No, we don't.
Cool. You definitely hold him after this, though. 100%. Let's see where you are. This is fine. You're staying alive. You're out of the Sniper's LOS. You could be looking for pick damage here. Where's the positioning? Where's the position that you could be looking for pick damage?
Either where the Hanzo is or between the two on the bridge
Yep.
things
Okay.
on the bridge.
You're good. It's a habit that you just got to start building. I didn't start building it until like a VOD review ago, which was like last week. So,
Gotcha.
which I need to get more VOD reviews. Oh, you see the Widow Cook? That's good. Your positioning on this is like very adapting, which is like I don't know why like every point is different for you. It's weird. This is just something I need to think about.
Is what's happening?
Like you're adapting very well to this point on this map, which is odd to me. Maybe the starting point helps you a lot, just knowing where you should start, which is the thing too. You see that Widow? Oh, whoa, you're peeking that again. Ooh. I'd try to get around the corner first. You want to make sure that you're living,
Gotcha.
because like sleeping the Widow there is fine, but like what does it do? And sure you can put like you can't really push on it if their tanks are alive. I don't know. That's nitpicky. It's situational. Widow hooking? I start crouching immediately.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that sleep, but oh well.
Yeah, that I'm not gonna micro that. Like, I'm looking more on positioning. It's a good nano. The Rhine is so ass. Like right here is bad because like their sniper's kind of looking right at you, and your Rhine doesn't give a fuck. I try to play around a little bit of cover there, but okay, then you guys win.
Yep.
So now that we got here, if you have a pen and pad or pencil and paper. Yeah, you can close the window, Temple.
I need healing.
Got it.
Thank you.
Trying to look for things. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to frost tonight, so let's see right here. When you're there, thing that I really want you to note is line of scrimmage and how everything changes and that it's always moving. Always moving. I just want you to write it down and to try and look back and understand where this line of scrimmage is. It's going to take you a really long time to understand this because I don't even fully understand it, right? This is like the very, very basic explanation of it. But understand that the way that I think about Overwatch right now while I'm learning like advanced stuff is that it's all just a bunch of lines, dude. Of where you want to be and where you want to... Like, did you play in Goat's meta at all? Did you ever hear of the saying called play the line?
No. I was gold plat at the time.
Okay.
Barely diamond.
Think about like King's Row after you cap first, that first choke. A popular thing was for defense teams to play the line there, whereas if the first person that crosses that line gets blown up. Like, we do not let them pass this line. Think of the line of scrimmage as you do not pass that line. If you pass that line, you are in trouble. If you're too close to that line, you're still in trouble as a support.
Mm-hmm.
As Rhine, you want to know where to place that line, and that's why a lot of flex supports understand main tank pretty well, because they pretty much study this line their entire game, because like they have to understand it to live.
Gotcha.
Okay, and that's why good flex supports can play tank, in my opinion. So that's the main thing I want you to take away from this. That positioning is adaptive, and that it's very important, and that I want you to think about. I want you to like every time you go back in a VOD. And I just want you to ask yourself, where did I position myself? Where else could I have positioned myself? Was this the best spot? Like, what are the pros and cons to each positioning? So, like, the thing that we talked about here on newsstand, and, like, the truck, and, like, being on top, being over there. Like, think about where you want to place yourself and understand the pros and cons so that when different games happen, you can adapt to what starting point you want to be on.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? A lot of this is positioning, and you said that that's something you're weak on, which I could agree on. The positioning was not stellar. It was definitely something you can work on. So like understanding starting positions and like where you want to start is also like that's a start of the start. I'm saying a lot of start, but like that's a beginning to getting better at positioning. Like you have to think. Everything at this level is now, instead of just do, you gotta think it. And I know you can think, because you're not dumb. You're definitely not dumb. I've met dumber people. Something that you can just add into really any character you play. Alt charge is the game. It's the name of the game. If you have the alt and they don't, you win. That's just understandable. Trying to think anything else that we talked about. Oh yeah, understanding tendencies of your opponent. If they play one way and that's like get in your face in your backline, play around that.
Yep.
But if I were to rank everything I just said, the most important thing is line of scrimmage and starting position. Like focus on that before you start focusing on adapting the playstyles and the alt charge thing, even though that's a little bit of a quick fix. Because that stuff is a lot more high, well, all of it's high level. But it's just a good thing to start thinking about.
So essentially,
early.
the route that I need to fix is positioning, and everything else will flow after the positioning gets fixed.
Not necessarily. Like cooldown usage still needs work, but I want to work on positioning with you before we work on cooldown usage.
Gotcha.
Because it wasn't awful, and a lot of it was harder because of your positioning.
Gotcha.
Understanding macro and what you need to be doing micro-wise is really important, but positioning, I want to work it first because it's important. So yeah, and then the last thing I tell you, as any player should be doing, half hour of aim arena every day with starting to crouch. If you need to, what I did, I crouched with my mouse before, but now I crouch on my keyboard, and I have my keyboard slanted now, so that the crouch button's easier. However you need to crouch, where it's off of your mouse and it's on your keyboard, start doing it.
It is not on my mouse. It is
Not on
on
your
the
mouse.
Alt button next to the space button.
What do you press it with?
My thumb.
Huh.
Instead of pushing
Interesting.
jump, I press crouch.
Interesting. We'll start pressing crouch more. But that's all I got for you. Do you have any questions?
None currently.
Alright, if you have a question after we're done recording, just let me know. Look
Will do.
back on it. This will be on YouTube for you, so that you can look back and you can ask me any question if you missed something. Or if you zoned
Gotcha.
out. Because we're all human and it happens.
I'm sorry, what was that?
If you zoned out or anything, it's going to be on YouTube. So, like, I understand if you zoned out, we're human and it happens.
I'm sorry, what was
So-
that?
Okay. Okay, dude. All right. You're a funny guy over there, man. Okay, but guys, that's all I have. If you guys want to get, if anyone in the comments has any questions, I will be looking at comments for the next month. So just let me know. All right, actually, I'll be looking because they just get sent to my email. But if you guys like the live review session and not the out of person sessions, let me know. If you want your VODs reviewed, just come to my Discord. I'll actually might start another tab to just put your VODs in so I can get to it whenever we can set up appointments. I am going to start doing this a little more. I'll have to find out when I'm going to upload these videos. But as always, if you like the video, like, subscribe, join the Discord, follow the Twitter, get notifications. I will see you guys in the next one. Until next time, I got peace out and paz out. See you in the next VOD review. Peace.